live from sunny Southern California. It's the Real Life Trading Full Year in the Making, 7th class of Totally Free Futures Trading Education. My name is Caryn. I'm here to help each of you reach the next level in your trading, not just in futures, but in all the markets you trade. Last class, we learned volume profile, and time price opportunity charts. Today, we're going to learn to interpret the initial balance to make, just to better inform our trading decisions. If you missed classes 5 and 6, you may not be able to understand everything we talk about today, but no worries, mate. You can watch the previous classes on demand, both on YouTube and Real Life's trading website. As always, we're squeezing a lot of information into a really short amount of time. So please write down your questions and save them for the end of class. I'm happy to stay late and answer any questions, and we can revisit any of the slides at that time. But before we get started, we must interrupt this program to bring you this word from the legal department. Trading is risky. Never risk money you can't afford to never see again. No one clicks your mouse but you. Click responsibly with full knowledge and personal accountability. Each decision to click that mouse is yours and yours alone. All right, we've got a lot to cover tonight, so super quick refresher on the key reference areas of the volume profile and the TPO charts. Last class, we learned how volume profile, time price opportunity charts offer us a comprehensive view of market structure so we can better interpret price action and market behavior. This is a volume profile chart of one trading session. Key reference areas are potential areas the market will have some kind of reaction. Value area highs, value area lows, low volume nodes, high volume nodes, including the point of control, the highest volume node of all have the potential to act as support or resistance. The highest volume node, the point of control, can act as a magnet, attracting price over and over again. Low volume nodes can act as repellent and be prices of immediate rejection. But of course, nothing is for sure when trading the market. These are simply things that tend to happen. Here's a TPO profile chart with its key reference areas. Both charts help filter out the market noise so we can better evaluate the price discovery process and the current state of the market. My goodness. And let's see, we agreed that the names of the days weren't as important as how the market is evolving, so we agreed not to focus on the names, even though we will use them. Today, we're going to focus on interpreting market structure and trading based on the initial balance. So let's start with the basic shapes of the TPOs and profiles. So a mature auction, let me grab a pen. Well, I have no idea what color that is, but a mature auction will form this perfect Gaussian shape. Much better in the picture than my drawing, but you get the idea. And since that auction never ends, we shouldn't let time interfere with our observations of it. Mature auctions have a greater likelihood of successfully breaking down or rallying out of value in search of a new value area. Immature auctions tend to get revisited, particularly, where is it? Ones that are shaped like this, and this one. These areas in between tend to get filled in eventually to create this shape over here. Same here. These, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I find that these sort of work together. One day you'll get this one, the next day you'll get this one. They sort of fit together and they make like one of these. Anyway, think of skewed curves as unfinished. Most of the time, price will revisit that area to complete the structure. If not today, maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe a few months from now. So just kind of be aware of areas where maybe there's a little unfinished business, as one of my mentors says. All right. Quick whirl through price discovery. No, I think I took that out. I did. Okay, so let's jump right in. Large IBs. These are initial balances of 10 points or more. And the IB is comprised of the first two brackets following the morning bell. On my charts, you will see that as a capital D as in dog and a capital E
bottom divergence
as in Edward. And I'm sorry, somebody's talking to me. I thought I had her quiet. Give me just a second. Da, 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 da. Always something, huh, guys? Okay, we won't hear from her again. Okay, so the first hour following the morning bell, 30 minutes. Let me start over. 30-minute periods. On my charts, you will see that as capital D, capital E for Edward. It can get a lot of information from the first IB, provided we have the patience to wait for its completion. Basically, the initial balance comes in three sizes: small, medium, and large. Large IB, 10 points or more. Medium IB, between 5 to 10 points, and a small IB, less than 5 points of range. But nothing in trading is a sure thing. News, big money can change everything in an instant. We're always trading what we think is the most likely to occur. We're never sure trading things, so it's important to manage your risk. For me, a large IB means money because there's a big range already on the day. Even if you're a point late to the trade, the range is large enough to still make a 6 to 8 point trade, which if you're trading one contract on the ES Mini, that's around $300 to $500 on one contract. More contracts equals more money, but only if the account can support more contracts and the risk profile of the account is not violated. For me, the big takeaway is that most of the time, either the high or low of the day are going to be established in the first hour, particularly with a large IB. You just have to decide. Excuse me just a second. Barry, I'm doing the class right now. Do you mind stepping outside? Sorry, guys. For me, a large IB means money because it's a big range, and I just said that. Look, the big takeaway is that the high or low of the day is going to probably be established in the first hour of the day. You just have to decide if it was the high or the low based on the market structure and the internals, which we'll get into internals in the next class. So I thought today we'd do something a little bit different and actually look at the days as they trade. So let's pick one. Okay, we got 4 days here. That's probably more than we have time for. I'm just going to pick a couple of these. Let's see, June 8th. That's a nice neutral day. See how the pen. Nice neutral day. See how you've got that's interesting. I love it when that happens. Go back. Silly pen. Anyway, so not my night. See how we've got this nice curve going. That's a neutral day. Same thing here. Actually, this is a normal the first one's a normal variation day. Second one's a normal day. Neutral day. Forget the names. I don't even know why I'm going there. I like. Let's do June 12. It's just a variation of the 8th, so we can skip the 8th. And July 5 is sort of a perfect. We'll come back to that one in the index. Let's trade the 29th and the 12th. No, the 8th, I said. The 8th and the 29th. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So on the left here, you've got the monthly chart. Monthly, it's up here. And this is the weekly. And looking at the monthly chart, it looks like, well, we recently broke out to the upside. And we're beginning to build value here. Here's our value area high, value area low. This is the TPO point of control, and this is the volume point of control. But this is so fresh and young that I don't think any of that's terribly meaningful. The weekly chart's a little more mature, but obviously it's still got some work to do. This is a weird little empty area here. I doubt it will hold as resistance because we've already played around above it. So we're just establishing a new area, new higher value area. Let's look at the overnight, the Globex session, and pretty much just balanced in a range all night. Overnight inventory going to the open looks pretty neutral. Let's go look at the daily stuff. Okay, here, now we're getting some clarity. Here on the daily chart, we got ourselves a nice little balance, and it's a pretty good range. That looks like what, about 24 to 30, about 6 points. And like we saw on the weekly and the monthly charts, the balance isn't quite mature, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little more balancing action. Now let's look at the previous day. That would be this, oh, excuse me, this one here. That's the previous day to what we're about to trade. Well, it looks like we came down quite a bit towards the end of the day and got rejected pretty swiftly. And came back up and closed right around the point of control. So, you know what? I don't think we even need to wait for the IB today. It's just a sell above 30 and buy below 24. We can just trade this balance right here, the value area. So let's put in 2 orders just before the open. Let's short at 31. Where's the pen? Our first order is to short. Oh, I'm getting better at this. Famous last words, I'm sure. 31. Our stop will be 33. And let's see, I said 30 to 24. So let's target 24, right? Sorry. If I had one of those screens that you just touch, I could draw on it with the pen, but not yet. Okay, so that'll be our first order that we're going to enter before the bell. And then I also want to put in a long order from, well, let's buy at 23.5. See if we can get lucky with a wick. I don't want to lose the chance of taking my target, but if I want to get long, I'm going to take advantage of if it could just squeak that little bit lower. And let's put our stop, we'll give it a 2-point stop, 21.5. And let's see. Well, let's put our target at 32. I like that number. Okay, and that's just all based on this balancing act right here. It's on the daily. That's pretty hefty. What else do we need? I'm good with these. Let's give it a go.
Divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence.
Oops.
Spoo's bottom divergence.
This one. Oh, let's give it a go now.
Divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence.
Wow. Okay. Well, there's our IB.
Spoo's bottom divergence.
Well, That's D&E period. It looks like our short order filled. Lost our...
Smooth bottom divergence.
Oh, stop that. Our short filled. We had a sell at 30 with a stop at 31. Oh, what a shame that's gone. And a target at 24. That's definitely filled. And then we got long at 23.50, which was down. This is a fiddly piece of software. Okay. We got long at 23.50 here. So we probably got a fill there. And our target is, what did we say, 32? Back to the IB high. So yeah, we'll let that one ride. Oh, good God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little bit under the weather. All right. I have to change this back again before I can do it. All right.
Divergence. Smooth bottom 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 divergence.
Now, notice that we have yet to break the low of day that was formed by the IB.
Smooth top divergence.
I don't like that. What's going on? Oh, see now, looking at the cumulative delta. Grab the pen again. Sorry, sir, options. I've got a woman, TradeStation's a man. That way I know who's talking to me. All right, so I'm not too worried about that little retrace. Again, we have yet to make
smooth top
a lower low on the TPO. And the cumulative delta, can you see my hand mouse over here? Okay, good. So, and the cumulative delta, that's actually a good thing to know. Still trending upward. 15-minute chart looks good. Oh, I think we're out. 24.30. So 2 trades. Now, my guess is now that it's tapped this previous value area high, it'll probably come back around the point of control. We got a little bit of range extension there, but not really. It doesn't look like it's holding. Oh,
smooth
and the
bottom
cumulative
divergence.
delta
Smooth
looks like
bottom
it's coming
divergence.
down. You can see that down here. These
Smooth bottom
numbers, if I can
divergence.
get that thing out of the
Smooth
way.
bottom divergence.
Apparently not. Oh, now it'll go. See how it's decreasing? And then if you look over here on the bars, it looks like it might be about to roll over. Oh, and it's already back to the point of control. So let me just stop this, grab a pen. So this is just the basic price development we talked about. Price goes up, pulls back a little, goes to an extreme, goes to the other extreme, and then it just sort of balances around. So 2 nice trades, not a bad day. Again, just a boring bell-shaped day. You'll get a high, you'll get a low. I mean, you could take 3 trades on that day if you wanted, but why? You get 2 good trades in the morning, leave the afternoon alone. Okay, so that was weird. Oh, okay. All right. So let's look at that crazy day with the huge range extension. It was, I guess it was sometime in August. All right. So here's the monthly and the weekly. Monthly, right in the middle of the value area. No help there. But we are a little bit below the point of control at 28.75. We're a couple ticks below that. I think we need to get back above that to be bullish, get back in this upper part of the value area, particularly on the monthly chart. Value area low 1275, the high. Well, I'd be shocked if we get there, 55 quarter. What I find is interesting is this value area low is, not that far away. That's within the HER of, 10 to 15 points ish. But if this level breaks, the only thing holding us up are these single prints here. And if we get below here, 88 would be the place. Let's see, this weekly chart is a blessed mess. So let's have a little learning opportunity about time and auctions again, and we'll fix up this weekly chart. Yeah, let's merge these. Yeah, one more. Okay, that makes a little more sense to me than that gappy thing. So let's see. Now we've got, and I've got to grab the pen again. Oh my God. Or maybe I can just go right to the ink. I can. Okay, so we said the monthly's in the middle of value. That lowest, we're in this lower distribution on the weekly, which is not particularly bullish, but we have to keep in mind that this is 4 or 5 weeks put together. But, if we came down to here, this value area low would be a great buying point at 1950. We've got the value area high on this hump is, we'll call that, crooked line. We'll call it 32-ish. This auction's pretty messy and disorganized. I would be surprised if it actually breaks down out of it. There's just so much work to do to get that shape even close. Let's look at the overnight at the Globex. Oh, look at that. On the Globex, we did touch that weekly value area low. What did I say? It was about 1950. We came down it, we tested it twice, and it held. So that's an interesting piece of information. And we've got in the overnight Globex sort of this, there's the mouse, sort of a funky inverse head and shoulders thing, maybe. I guess we would need to bounce somewhere around here and come up. And then, of course, there's this neckline that we'd have to get above for anything beyond that to happen. But let's see, from 24, I can't quite see the numbers here. Anyway, from 24 something to, I guess that would be 2450 to 3050. So that's 6 points. Not really great. Let's move on. Okay. I'm not sure why this is all squished over. Oh, no matter how much stuff you turn off, it still seems to find you. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm getting a little bit of clarity over here on the daily. Grab that pen again. We've got a little bit of a pen of a trend line going here. You can see it here on the 15, which is that's a little bit helpful. Made a higher low. So I'm thinking the initial move would be up at least to this 40 level here, maybe even a little higher. And if this trend line breaks, we'll know that's wrong. So let's see. Okay, so if this trend line breaks, we'll just sell at market with a target of 24.12. And depending on the aggression level, maybe we'll take it to 24.06. And aside from that, I don't know. I mean, it's in the middle of everything. I think let's let the IB form on this one. Oops, I did it again. Oh my God, you guys. I'm sorry. All right, let's see what happens here. All right, we are definitely coming up.
Large buy. Smooth top divergence. Smooth top divergence.
I sped things up so we could get through this a little quicker. Wow.
Large sell.
Oh, okay, there's our IB. Let's pause. Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to play this while we talk. So there's our IB.
Large buy.
Let's get that back. What a pain.
Smooth top divergence.
PowerPoint,
Smooth
my
top divergence.
nemesis. Today,
Large sell.
baby. Okay, there it is. I'm going to push the right button. There we go. Okay, so we've traded down. We broke the overnight low. Our IB is in. I think the low of the day might be in. I think it's all about that neckline was at 31. And we're above it. So let's see. I would like to get into this because I have a feeling it's going to go to at least the 40 level. Trying to think, you know, this might be one where we have to wait for the lunch crowd. Let's let this play a little bit more.
Large sell.
Holy cow.
Smooth top divergence.
Okay. This looks to me like it's turning into a momentum trade. The QM delta is trending upward. Of course, we're getting close to that 40 level. Let's see if we can get in near the bottom of this G bracket. Where's that pen? Let's see if we could get in at, let's say 37. We got long at 37. We'll put our stop. Let's do it pretty tight because we're in the slate. Let's just do like, let's do four ticks below G period, which is, what is this? A little hard to tell. Let's put our, well, you know what? We'll just put it at a little more. Let's put it at 35.50. I just can't do it. 4 ticks is just too small. Oops, 35.50. And our target, where's the top of our, way up here. Well, we've got a big IB. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. We've got a big IB. You know, this is not unreasonable. If we get back into this value area, past the point of control, You know what? No. You know what? This is a big IB. We've got some serious range extension here. We should be targeting double the IB, which is up here. So I think that's like 44. For target, 44. Let's make sure that all works. So let's see, we're risking 2.5 points to make 7. No, it's not 2.5. We're risking 1.5 to make 7. I'm okay with that. Let's see if we get filled. It's already past us. Let me get rid of that. What do you think? You guys like this trade? Silence. Everyone's snoozing. All right. Okay. Let's just. You think so? Okay. Let's finish this one off. Let's see if we can get a fill. La, la.
Spruce bottom divergence. Spruce bottom divergence. Spruce bottom divergence.
Maybe?
Spruce bottom
Oh,
divergence.
now we're in
Spruce
for
bottom
sure.
divergence. Spruce bottom divergence. Spruce bottom divergence.
All right, well, all those bottom divergences are a good sign, and I like what the cum is doing. It looks like it's making like a dip double bottom. Uh-oh, I didn't like that. All right, well, as long as we don't break the bottom of G period, we can hang in there. I'm really not seeing any. Oh, you know what it is? We're just coming into that 40 level resistance I was talking about on the daily chart. But I think we should be able to get up above it if this lower trend line is valid. Then we should also make a higher high.
Spruce bottom divergence.
Could be wrong.
Spruce bottom divergence.
Could just be making descending scallops. But, oh no, okay. We're through the worst of it. Oh, so choppy. Oh, I should have put music on during this. Oh, and that was our target, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, we got a fill for sure. Wow, we could have made it to the previous day's value area high, maybe. All the way up here. But, you know, I don't like to be greedy. I like to take my money. If I leave a few ticks or, you know, on the table, so be it. I'm much happier to get my fill for sure than to possibly have to suffer through a pullback or even end up losing money. Yeah, it went right to that value area high from the previous day. And you're going to find that a lot, that really the most important thing to be looking at isn't always what's happening today. Most of the time, the most important thing to look at when you're trading this day is what happened on this day. And you'll find over and over again that your targets, your supports are really going to come from this value area, because this is the one that's for sure. This other is still developing the day we're trading, and it's going to change. The point of control is going to move, the value area high, the value area low, they all jump around. So it's kind of wavy gravy. But you look at these are set in stone. Nothing's going to change that. And you'll find, you know, oftentimes we'll trade right to 2 times yesterday's value area instead of today's. All right, that was kind of like a double distribution trend day. Looking at it here, here's our first hump. We've got some singles in here, never got filled, and then a second hump and more singles. Let's see what's next. So that'll be it for the large IBs. We covered a normal day, which is the same as a neutral day, which is the same as a normal variation day, which is the same as a neutral extreme day. That was the first one we traded. And it's going to be the same for all the IBs, just with smaller ranges. I won't trade it on the small IB because there's just no range. You can't get anything. Let's see. Medium IB. let's move on to that. And the one we just did was a trending distribution, double distribution day. So it looks like some of you are hanging in there and some of you are lost. I'm hesitant to keep going if a lot of you are lost. How many of you, I may have skipped something somewhere. How many of you are lost? Type in a 2 if this is confusing. -1, 1.5. Okay. Well, if you missed a lot, I mean, I was very upfront about that. You're going to have some. Yes, I agree. It is lagging. Okay. All right. Each of the charts that I had in the spread. I'm not sure I understand. Let's move on to the medium IB. I think that as you see them more in action and see how they move inside the value area from yesterday and the developing value area. Oh, the last slide. Oh, this. Okay. I could do that. I'm going to do it quick because some of this stuff we'll get into the next class. Let me get all the marks off. Okay, so this here is our TPO chart for the regular trading session. These are the previous days here. I don't know if you can see that thing or not. Well, it's ridiculous. This here is the 5-minute candlestick chart. And this is the VWAP. This is cumulative delta, which we will get into in the next class. Just know that when it's moving up, price should be moving up. If it's moving down, it usually means price is going to move down. And let's see. This is also the cumulative delta, only down here we've actually got the actual numbers. And this is I like to call it a price pathway chart. There's another company that actually trademarked it. They call it a footprint chart, and it shows you in each tick, bar by bar, on the left, how many contracts were sold at the ask. So this is how I look at market orders. Sold at ask on the right, and excuse me, on the left, and on my other left, on the right, these are how many contracts were bought at the bid. And I promise to get into this more, but for now, just know that you don't read them straight across. These two numbers here don't go together because one is the bid, right? And one is the ask. So because of the spread, when you read this chart, you have to read it on the diagonal like that. This one should be familiar to everybody. That's daily candlesticks. This is the 15-minute candlesticks. And then I get these little marks. Sometimes they're worthwhile, sometimes they're not. It lets me know when the cumulative delta diverges with price. And then we've got the blue dots are large buy orders, yellow dots, large sell orders, pink bars, high volume. So I'm going to move on now. Let's try the medium IBs. Let's see. Now these, like the large IB, they really just do two things. You're either going to get neutral day or some form of a neutral day, which again is going to be, oh, I do have the pen. It's going to be this thing. That's neutral, right? It's balanced. No skew. This, unbalanced, right? There's balance. It's like on a lollipop. It's on this big rejection lollipop. This unbalanced double distribution. Well, this is kind of a messy one. I like this one better. This is a really clean, I mean, I guess technically it's a triple because it's got 3 humps, but this is so undeveloped here in the center. This is so undeveloped that you could get away with calling it a double distribution for what it's worth. And distribution just refers to these value areas, right? We got one up here and we got one down here. So on a day that does this, let me erase. When you have a day that you start down here in this value area and you build value for a while and it breaks out and keeps going and then starts to balance again, well, your TPOs and your point of controls can get messed up depending on the software you're using. So just sort of treat them as 2 separate days and look for yourself. Where's the high volume node in this one? Where's the high volume node in this one, in case you come back to it? Let's see. So I really like this April 20th. I think that's going to be a good day for us to trade. Let's see. So we've traded, we looked at this, we've done this. This is just that on a stick. I mean, seriously, if you're lucky enough, you can buy this tail, hang on, because it'll probably balance up there. So let's do April 20th. Oh, no, I guess I picked another day too. Okay, medium IB double distribution. Interesting. Okay. This is the monthly and the weekly chart again. Now this is interesting that the monthly is also 2 humps separated by what looks like single prints. Close enough. In any case, this will act as resistance or support, and this will act as resistance and support. So really, we've got 2 different value areas here. And we're in the upper one, which is nice bullish thing. Value area low, 94.25, no clues here. Same thing with the weekly. I mean, this looks pretty close to complete. The weekly chart might be ready to do something interesting. Let's take a look at the overnight and see if that gives us a tip. Well, it looks like we tested the value area low in the overnight. That value area low from the weekly, way down here, sorry, 94.25. And price has just kind of been going up since, but this straight upness to me is a sign of exhaustion. That parabolic up, and the overnight inventory, clearly most of the people that are in this trade are long. So I'm guessing they're hoping price will get here and they're going to take profits, which is going to make this whole thing roll over. So I'm not seeing anything here either. Let's okay, well, pardon me. Let's see. Well, it looks like I didn't quite catch the very beginning of this day, but sure enough, we traded right up to that 25.05 and rolled over. All these people taking profits. Now, the question is, are they just taking profits, or are there people aggressively shorting the market? And I can't tell that yet, but what I do see that I like on the 15-minute is this kind of support zone here. which could be a nice entry. And these single prints are a nice sign of rejection. Let's see. Let's get our IB up and see. Oh, funny. Started over again. That's okay. All right. So far we're holding.
Large sell.
Oh, nope. We
Large
just
sell.
broke into the previous day. Wow. We're going to hold at that little ledge from the previous day. We're going to break into that value area. Okay, there's our IB, and we have definitely broken into the previous value area. And the way it's looking, I think we're going to blow right through that point of control too. Not what, well, kind of what I was expecting. It looks like the market is heading downward for now, but it's already gone, what, 12 points. And we're nearly at the overnight low. Let me get the pen again. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is like, PowerPoint does not make this kind of thing easy. Where is that? Oh, come on. There it is. All right. So we're almost to the overnight open, the value area low. There's a lot of different kinds of support here. And there's these single prints, which I kind of like the idea of. And we've talked about single prints acting as support and resistance. I'm looking at this this line right here as a potential long. I think if we keep shooting straight down like this, by the time we reach this level, we'll have hit, we'll have gone beyond the average true range. And we've got this little ledge that should act as support. I can put my stop here below the low of, below yesterday's low. You know, I kind of like that trade. And I'm, let's see. Let's buy one tick above these singles because I think I want to get into this. Let's see. So that would be long at 93.35. $93.35. That's not right. $93.50. And we said we'd put the stop below these single prints because we're taking this trade expecting these to hold as resistance. Now it might actually come right to this one. I can hold as support. It might actually come to this bottom one. So I want to give it a little bit of room underneath. We'll put the stop at, we'll give it 2 points. I want to be sure to get a fill. So it's $100 risk per contract. I think that's going to be okay because the potential reward on this could be really quite nice. 91.50 and the target. Now let's see. I think we're in uncharted territory, kind of, looking at fib numbers. If we were to actually come down to this G level and fill us and then bounce back halfway, that would be, oh, pardon me, IB high 2505 and a half. And the single prints, we'll call that 92.5. That's 13 points. That's okay. Half of that would be 6.5 points. It's not great. It's not great, is it? But if it gets a squeeze, we could make the whole 13. And that's really why I'm taking this trade. I think this is going down so far, so fast. Everybody's jumping on this train. They're going to get short, and the whole thing's going to flip around on them as the East Coast goes to lunch and Europe closes. And they're all going to get caught short, and we might get a squeeze. And that's really why I'm taking this trade. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to set a temporary target, and this is totally subject to change, at 2,500 for now. Is that 6.5? Yeah, 2,500. Let's see what we've got here. Oh no, you know what? Let's put it 2,501.5 for sure. That's this point of control on the day, developing day. 2,501.5. Now, does anybody have any questions about this trade? Anybody confused about the why of it? Okay. All right, cool. I'm this is very different. I'm like thinking and anyway, onward. Let's see what comes next. As soon as I can switch all the cursors around.
Large sell.
All right, here we go. Okay,
Large sell.
it's still coming down. Look at all those large sell orders, all those yellow dots on that 15-minute chart.
Sell. Large sell.
Holy cow, is this a liquidation? No? All right, well, we're long, I think. Yeah, we probably got to fill.
Large buy. Large sell.
Now,
Spoo's top
basically,
divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's top divergence.
as long as we
Spoo's
don't
top
break low of
divergence.
day, we're
Spoo's top
profitable.
divergence. Spoo's top divergence.
Uh-oh. What's going
Large
on
sell.
here? Well, so far this bracket's staying above the bracket before. Uh-oh. I'd really like to see it make a new, you're going the wrong way. Get over that POC. This is what's in the way, is this daily point of control. See how it's moved already? When we first put this trade on, it was up there at the 2501 level. Now it's down at 2497. Oh, I like that. Keep going. Go. Ooh, okay. Look at the cum delta.
Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's top divergence.
Let's see if I can.
Spoo's top divergence.
This is
Spoo's
a good
top
sign.
divergence.
And frankly, this is looking pretty good. See if we can get up here. All right, so I think it's time to reevaluate this target. I think this is going to keep going. And I want to I'm going to go to 1.5. Oh, no, too late. Too slow. Well, I think it's going to go up to this 1.5 at least. It might make it all the way to the 2 times.
Large buy.
Oh, holy moly, it sure did. Well, that's all right. I mean, that wasn't a terrible trade. I don't think I would get in it again here. I mean, it could, just like this, where's this thing? Just like this was a big down move. This is a big up move. But we did get a nice squeeze.
Large buy.
And I guess somebody tried to short here, and now they're getting their stops taken out. It just might make the double.
Large buy.
Not confused. Trailing stops. Jamie, what? You don't see why I got 93.50? I got 93.50.
Large sell.
Let me pause this and get rid of all my scribbles.
Large sell. Large sell.
Oh, stop.
Large buy. Large sell. Large buy.
That's all
Spruce
right. She'll
bottom
shut up in a
divergence.
minute.
Large buy.
So 93.50, I kind of is right. Ugh, hold still. What did it do? Just like reset? Where was I? 93.50. Oh, God. Okay, I found it. 93.50 is just there. Here's these single prints right here, these G's. You see them? Okay, so single prints tend to act as support and resistance. And I liked this setup. We've got a potentially really nice day shaping up. A big IB, which means we'll probably make it back to the top of it. And I wanted to make sure I got a fill. So I wasn't positive it would get all the way down into these single prints. But I figured there were probably, and we don't have the dome in front of us, so I just sort of guessed. There's probably a whole bunch of buyers here at 93. Maybe I could have done 93.25, but I went with 93.50 and I put a stop down here at 91.50, and I'm pretty happy with that. Yes, price did revisit it. Let's play this again. Oh, it's so bloody slow. And this is after I've speeded it up twice, too. It's crazy. It's like playing at 8 times speed. Let's see if I can.
Large sell. Large sell.
Well, I don't have to. Okay, I'm glad, Michael. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, I'm kind of.
Large sell.
The resolution isn't great, and I think it's because I had
Large
to
sell.
double it twice in a extraneous piece of software, and as a result, I've lost like 2 generations.
Large sell.
But onward. It seems like I went backwards, doesn't it? Okay, that's very strange. Is this the same day? It is. I don't know why it's there. And this is, all right, don't mind me. We're on small IBs. Awesome. Okay, this is like my most hated day. I don't trade them well. Most of the time, they're total duds anyway, because the range is too small. Like these 2 days in the middle, I'm down here. What's this mouse? What is this? I gotta find a better way to present. Okay, let's grab a pen. Okay, so these 2 days down here. Here's your initial balance. It's puny. Here's your whole day's range, 69, 75, 79.25. I mean, that's, you know, it's nothing special. There's nothing great there. And that's if you catch the very bottom and the very top. And let's face it, you probably would catch, maybe you'd catch it here. So maybe there's 8 points to get reasonably, but you'll be sitting in it all day and you'll be bored to tears. And then it's the same thing here. I mean, we've got a small IB, and it never gets out of there. It's just the narrow range bars on the daily. No fun. These are officially called non-trend days. When it's a little IB, it's the same thing as we did that first time around on the large IB. So they're usually inside days, or the market's waiting for news, or the daily chart's in a squeeze. They usually come in groups before big economic news. I mean, when I see this stuff going on, I'll look at other instruments, but like metal, bonds, currency, maybe. But sometimes there just isn't anything to do. If the market's waiting on an economic report, the market's waiting, and you're just going to have to wait. Obviously, these are balanced profiles. There's nothing exciting is going to happen until price gets out of there. And you see, the second it came out, went back in. Second it came out, went back in. No fun. So every once in a while, a little tiny IB like this one here will just knock your socks off. Or an even slightly larger IB will just knock your socks off. But you don't know which one it's going to be. I hate these. Well, it's a love-hate relationship because, let's face it, what comes out of narrow range bars, big trend. That's the explosion out of those. And, that kind of makes sense. You get enough of them in a row and the market's so tightly wound, it's got to move in a direction, right? Lots of tight range days. That's the Bollinger Band squeeze. That's the Keltner Channel squeeze. Generally, this is one theory out there, they break out on either the 4th day or the 7th day of narrow range bars. Well, looking at our options here, I don't see any point to trading either of these 2 days. We've done that already with the big IB, and frankly, I would never trade these days anyway. So, looking at our options here, this is sort of a wonky double distribution kind of thing, and we just did that. So, let's go for this one. March 24. That can't be right. I got the wrong picture up there. I know for a fact that it's going to be January 24, which is way back at the beginning of the year. That's how far back I had to go to find a real, honest to God, not doubling back on itself trend day. That's how rare a true, pure trend day is. Anyway, here's the signs that a trend day may be coming. Let's start with the monthly. We have a pretty mature profile. Maybe there's a little fiddling around to do here, but don't know. Weekly chart, also looking fairly mature. The one before it looks fairly mature. This one looks fairly mature. We've been diddling around here in this balance. It's getting close. If not today, very soon. So let's see. Let's look at the Globex, the overnight. And my guess is you guys can't see that whole picture for some reason. Let me see if I can get this back on the screen. Oh, come on. All right, this is so annoying. Oh, wait, I know how to do this. Give me 2 seconds. Well, 10 seconds. 1 minute. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, ay. This is my day. I get this off the screen. Okay. Almost there. La da 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 da. That is this one. Oh my. I don't know why that's so outsized. Wow, It like grew exponentially. Now it's gone. Sorry, guys. This wasn't supposed to happen at all. All right. That's a little better. Was it worth the wait? Okay, so, and no, it wasn't really worth the wait. There's nothing interesting here. We've been balancing. Price just spent the night balancing. Pretty tight range. All of what? 3.5 points. 53.5 to, I don't know, 57 to 58 zone. No big clues here either. Let's look at the daily chart. And this is so far back. I had to go to toss. Ooh, now this is looking good. We've got a heck of a lot of narrow range bars over here. And it's looking pretty symmetrical. This side is fairly close to equal to the amount of narrow range bars on this side. Clearly, we've got some resistance up here. This would be an awesome level to buy at if we could get it. It's at 2240. Basically, if we could buy anywhere below this green line, and I know the visual is really bad here, so a buy anywhere around 53 to 54, and a sell, this is like it's 70. Sell anywhere over 70. Let's look at the other charts. They're going to be a little clearer. I just couldn't pull the daily from Sierra. It was too long gone. So let's see. Looking at the 15-minute. Well, you know what? I liked that buy at 54. It's a long shot. It probably won't fill. But we can place that pre-market because that's a pretty well-established little balance area. I don't think it's quite ready to break. I could be wrong. And I think that even if it does break, it's going to go to the upside. But let's see. So we'll buy 54, stop at 52. And what did we say? 70? Target of 70. And that would be a sweet trade if we can get in it and it works. All right. That's about all I've got before we've got the IB. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's not how you make that happen. It's all so fiddly. You'd think they'd let you just click with a pen and it would work.
Top divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's top divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's top divergence.
Big NO, good buddy.
Spoo's bottom divergence. Spoo's bottom divergence.
Well, all that divergence. I think it's going to take off without us, and it's a little late to get in on the party. Although this cumulative delta making a higher high like this and just straight up, that's like an explosive move. It'll probably keep going. If I got in here, the stop would have to be way down here. I mean, it's over 3 points away. I'm not a fan. That means to maintain positive expectancy, we'd have to get 15 points of profit. You know, might just have missed this one. It happens. Let's see what happens. Maybe it'll pull back for the lunch trade or turn even. I did mention I'm not a fan of small IBs. Oh, well, there we go. All right, stop.
Bye.
I've got an entry. We're going to get in. If it gets, let's see. Oh, itchy. Let's see. Oh, but we've got this. Let me grab the pen again. Anybody see a trade here? What do you guys think? You're talking about t-shirts. Oh. From the point of control, Errol? Yeah, I see that too. I just think we might have missed that. I'm tempted to do the same thing we did before. And there's just so much momentum here. You know what? I think this is a market. It's a market. Oh, God. Okay, look. I know we've got to have our stop down here, which is what, 57.50. All right, this we didn't get. Wah, that would have been nice. All right, the stop at 57.50. Ugh. And if we, but I don't want to miss it. This is looking so powerful, strong. And look at this 15-minute. Boom. I think, okay. I like this. Let's try to get in where G period opened. We're going to try for this. It may be a mistake. I might miss the trade trying to save a couple ticks. But just because it seems like it's going to go roaring. Actually, you know what? What am I doing? It's a small IB. Oh, it hasn't broken the range yet. Now, the momentum's there. This is clearly... I don't want to miss it. I don't trust that it might actually come back to the POC. It probably will, because Liryl's always right. Yeah, Jamie, I'm with you there. It's a jump in market order, but then I'm thinking I guess my stop could still be at 57.50. But what if I get filled at 59 or 6? Yeah, you're right. It's a market order. All right, it's a market order. Might as well get aggressive with everyone else. But you know what I am going to do? Instead of just hitting buy market, if I was actually entering this order, I would actually hit the open ask line and buy there, so that I would have a little control. You know, the ask line the first ask line that doesn't have any contracts across from it. So I would just buy at the top side of the spread rather than clicking market order. And that would get me filled immediately too. Okay, let me fiddle around with all these cursors again. By Jove, I think she's got it. All right. Did we get a fill? Oh yeah, we did, because we bought at the ask. So we're probably in at around 58, I'm guessing. 59 probably.
Spoof top divergence.
We did that without a target. Bad girl.
Spoof top divergence.
Let's go to yesterday's 2 times high, which is 65. Oh no, I said 70 in the balance. So our target's 70. Although that might be a stretch.
Spoof top divergence. Spoof top divergence.
Let's see what happens.
Spoof top divergence. Spoof top divergence.
All right, because we didn't put a target in, just to save ourselves from being idiots, I would at this point move the stop under the 2 times high and see if we get 70. I accidentally did that a little bit by the seat of our pants. So our stop is now here. Oh, so close. So close and yet so far. Come on, baby. No? Not going to give it to us, are you? Oh, 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 oh. Come on. Come on.
Large buy.
Yowza. There we go. Okay, so that's a trend day. Now, once this thing gets to, right here, this level is 3 times the IB high.
Bottom divergence.
That's extreme. So this is a crazy, crazy move. Here's yesterday's double, and it's almost at yesterday's 3 times high. So I don't think this is going to go much higher. If anything, it's going to start pulling back. I could be wrong. Maybe it's got to stop all these people who sold up here first, and then it'll turn down. Nope. She's off to the races. Holy moly. Well, that's why I take my money and be done. No, Justin, sadly, that's from January. Not real money. Yeah, that's a really extreme move. That's pure trend. Anyone who jumps in front of this thinks, it'll pull back. This is the top.
Divergence.
It's going to pull back because it's at
bottom divergence.
yesterday's 1.5.
Bottom divergence. Bottom divergence. Bottom
Now it's
divergence.
going. There were
Bottom
just
divergence.
a few more stops left, I
Bottom divergence.
guess.
Bottom divergence. Bottom divergence. Large buy. Large buy.
So this kind of move, once it got up here, all the rest of this is just fueled on other people's stops. But I think that was a pretty nice trade. So now we've traded all the basic day types. The normal day, the normal variation day, the neutral center day, the neutral extreme day. Those are all basically the same day. The only difference between them is the size of the IB, if there was any range extension, and where the profile closed. And you're not even going to know where the profile closed till the day's over. So does that do you any good while you're trying to trade? No. They're all the same shape. Look at them. They're that classic Gaussian shape. Normal day, neutral extreme day, normal variation day. See, they're all basically the same. Neutral center day. It's the same day. It's range trading. If it's a small IB, don't bother. If it's a medium IB that's, on the larger side, like at least 8 points, go for it. And if it's a big IB, knock yourselves out, trade away. The difference, pardon me, guys, I'm sorry. All right. Trend. I mean, you know what a trend day is when prices consistently move in one direction and create a big, long, elongated profile. That's a trend day. When price forms a narrow balance to begin with, and then takes a jump higher and makes a new balance, that's double distribution trend. Let's see, opening this. Let me see if I can help you with Sierra after we're done. So how do you know what kind of IB day it's going to be? That is an excellent question. It's all about the odds, which brings us to our next slide. Trend days. There were 2 kinds of trend days. All the rest were these neutral, non-trend, neutral extreme, normal stuff. This is a count over a 2-year period. Only 16% of the days were trend days, which is probably why I'm so bad at trend days, because I just assume it is not going to be a trend day. If it breaks out of the IB and starts range extension, then I know it's trending, at least for part of the day, and I'll adjust appropriately. But trend days are rare. For the whole day. You can get a little trend, then a balance, a little more trend and a balance. Well, that's different. That gives the pullbacks, that's normal. It gives you a chance to get in. When you have something like this, pushing buy at the ask, but Come on. But when you get a move like that, there's only one way in. You got to pay the price. It's nice when you can get it. You end up kicking yourself if you don't just hit buy. But then if you've got this small IB and it's a nothing day, you end up buying at the top. The real key with these IBs is to just know what they do. A small IB, odds are it's going to be a dud. But if it does start to break its initial range, right, the IB, if it breaks out of this range with any kind of momentum, you can pretty much count on it will keep going. It's going to trend the rest of the day, because that is the launch out from your Bollinger Band squeeze on the daily or your Keltner channel. Yes, if you have complete profiles on the week. Thank you, Lyra. That's yes. Yes, Jen, absolutely. Never chase in futures. If you chase a futures trade, you will get clobbered. It's just a matter of time. 99 times out of 100, it will come back to a good spot. You just might have to wait a little while. You might have to wait a long while. Sometimes you might have to wait an hour. I mean, it's going fast on this chart, but each one of these brackets is 30 minutes. So, if I'm waiting for, like we were waiting for it to come down on one of these, come back to us on one of these other charts, waiting 2 brackets, that's an hour long wait. Waiting 3 brackets, that's an hour and a half. It just seems deceptively quick and easy when we're trading like this, because the charts are going so fast we can't even see the prints one at a time. Okay, so yeah. Well, kids, that's it. Let's take a 5-minute break. Hopefully that was kind of fun for you guys and not just horribly tedious listening to me talk. Let me take 5 minutes. I'm definitely need a quick break, and I'll come back. Phew, that took a little longer than I thought it would. Okay. Oh, yeah, Susan, it tells me SPOO's top divergence, that's the ES minis, or SPOO's bottom divergence. It's not very clear because everything was playing back super quick. Let's see. Someone wanted to see how to get the TPO chart open on Sierra. So let's see. Can you see that? Okay. So the first thing you do, right, is you go to File, Open Chart Book, or you can Control B. I like the menus. Let's see. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I wasn't quite ready. So let's see. Let's go to Chart. Well, let's open a chart. Chart. New intraday chart. Well, we don't need to search. I can just, let's see. Oh, what is this symbol? Okay, I'm totally spaced. Sorry. Been one of those days, not feeling so good. Well, here, we can do it with crude. So crude would be CL, and it doesn't have to be December 2017. And you don't have to use the caps. Serial no on the NYMEX. And let's click open. There's our chart. Now, to get this as a TPO, we want to go to chart settings. Oh no. Okay, let's check our tick, and you can see my little arrow. You always want to check your display format that it matches the instrument. This is fine. One and okay. So we'll close this, and then we'll go to studies, which is here somewhere. Where is it? Analysis, studies, duh. And then we're looking for the TPO profile chart study, which will be down in the T's somewhere. A lot of options in Sierra. There you go. And we'll add it. And there she blows. Just that easy. Got that? I use level 5. I highly recommend level 5. You're welcome, Dan. It's like an extra $10 a month. I mean, come on. Totally worth it. Any other questions? And I think as part of the next, I do not trade through Sierra. I use Sierra's, well, it's complicated actually. Okay. Sierra is my charting software. It's my charting platform. Rhythmic RT Pro is my data feed. And then my broker is AMP Futures, AMP. But then, I also trade with TradeStation, and, I like to keep 2 platforms open all the time because you never know. It's just like a safety measure. All right, next class is going to be trading. Well, we'll start with the indexes, what sectors go into them, and what, because of that, which economic reports will cause them to make those narrow range bars and possibly break out to the upside or break down. And I think I'll create a single print is, okay, so each of these, where's that mouse? Let's see if I can expand this. Single print is a price that's only touched during one period. So I think, oh no, that pen won't work. I have to use this one. Okay, this might get funky, but, seriously? There we go. Okay, so all of these here, those are all single prints. Price only traded there during one period. So that's what makes this area separate from this area. That's why we have, remember how I talked about there being, the value area, and between the value areas is trend. Well, each of these humps is a value area, right? Let's see if I got that to work. I did. Okay, so here's a value area here. Here's a value area here. The space between is going to be trend. You're welcome. Yeah, and extra. Well, it's because class 5 was such a marathon. We couldn't get through it. I mean, everything that I've been talking about has had a reason. I know sometimes it seems like I'm just enjoying listening to myself talk and I'm rambling on, but value areas are important when you've got. I can make this a lot cleaner. Come on. This value area to this value area, and it breaks below here with any kind of conviction, you can bet it's going to come down to the top of this value area and test this level. And if this level doesn't hold, it might come up a little bit, but then it's going to come down and test this level. And if this level holds, this POC holds, and it's going to come back up here and try to break out. And if it can't break out, it's going to come back here, and then it's probably going to go down. So that's all it does constantly is, let's see. I don't think I've got a good drawing tool in this. There's no freehand, but that's what price does. It'll do this, this, this. It broke down. It'll come back up, test this a tiny bit, maybe even break through a little. And then sellers like Jeremy will jump in and it will come down to this level. And at this level, you probably expect there to be some buyers. People are going to see this as a value area high. They're going to see this well below value. They're going to expect it to come back up here, and it'll start to do that. And then the sellers will come back in, and it'll brush through this area, and it'll come to this next high volume node. And then it'll come back up, see if it can break out of here, might even do it a little bit. But then if it can't stay above this one, it's going to go all the way through that, because there you go. That's what the market does. It just bounces between these nodes. And when you get a lot of space like this, when you get let me get the hand. When you get a lot of space like this here, that's a pretty good, what is that? It's 50 cents in crude. That's some decent money. What is that? It's like, is it $10 a penny or something? Anybody here trade crude? Anyway, I think, this is a pretty good range. That's worth taking. Now it might, the singles end right here. So it might not make it all the way down. This could support it. But, $10 a tick. So 50 cents would be $500, right? So that's nothing to sneeze at, especially when it's a no-brainer like that. Anything else I can help anybody with? And you know what? I'll make a nice clean visual so you guys can see this, how this bouncy thing works. But basically, it's just ping pong. No, that's it. By the way, hello, Vinny, if you're still here. I'm sorry. I only just saw you raise. I only just discovered the little raised hand button. All right. Like I said, we're going to take this Thursday off and come back a week from tonight, and we'll do 2 classes next week. And that will probably be the end of the trading, at least for a little while. But thank you, David. I hope so too. I just want to throw a thank you out to Jeremy and Ashley for the opportunity and the support, and to you guys for being such willing listeners. such good little hostages. All right, you guys. If there aren't any more questions, I'm gonna call it a night. Entry signals. Yeah, Frank. They're not really signals. For me, the entry is about support and resistance. And when I see Price coming into support in a particular way or coming into resistance in a particular way, that's my signal. It's how the market's reacting to a price level that I consider to be important. All right, you guys. That's it. We're done. Night all.